I don't think, a lot of these like YouTube stars, they don't get one thing: perpetuation. Understand media. Okay, so the platform that you said what works best, these three work really well. Media works really well. I don't like to call it LinkedIn or Instagram or podcast or movies or TV shows or digital TV show or all the other things I get to do. For me, media is understanding three things. No matter what I'm doing, in person, on whatever it is, I need to learn how to, one, capture. Right? Learn how to capture yourself so that it's in the right formats for all the different places that are today available for you and platforms for the future. So you got to capture it and store it in a repository, have it categorized correctly, because you never know what the gold's going to be, right? Gary, I've studied him and he's a mentor of mine. He's so good because he can search back 11 years. I don't have 11 years of capture. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I talked about Uber 11 years ago, or I told everybody that this was coming, and all of a sudden he looks like a genius. Why? Because he knows how to capture. 2, amplify. Right? You got to understand that once it's captured, how do I amplify it correctly to the right audience? And when I say amplify, there's 3 components of amplification. 1 is the strength of the signal. How far do I want that amplification to reach? Because, just like in sales, right? I have a pizzeria and thing. I don't want to advertise in New York because no one's going to come to my pizzeria. The same thing holds true in the digital media world. What kind of signal and strength do you have for this capture? And they vary, right? Like if I'm doing a meetup, my strength of the signal in Huntington Beach, I don't want to invite all of Los Angeles, San Diego, and New York, right? That's stupid, right? So people look at how you capture the strength of the spectrum of the signal. So now, who am I resonating with? Younger entrepreneurs, women 35 to 55, older entrepreneurs, whatever it may be. Know your spectrum, and then do these things. I had a kid, he does all the political digital stuff, super successful in my podcast. You got to see him, Philip Stutz. But he believes in what I believe in. The more you can test, the clearer the message will be. Part of the reason I do the meetup is to help people, right? But it's also to get a clearer message, because as I talk to you, I'm saying, oh, this is what people really want to know. And so now I get a clearer message on how to describe it, what to talk. I'm working through in my head some of these answers that I can use. So strength of signal, spectrum, and the amplification, and of course, clarity of message. The last thing is the long-term goal. And this is another area that if you are more traditional, have more experience, I don't think, a lot of these like YouTube stars, they don't get one thing: perpetuation. Walt Disney understood perpetual nature of content, right? So when he created Mickey Mouse, he wasn't just looking for that year, black and white, whistling Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. He was way out in the future, like, how am I going to perpetuate this mouse so that when they create some other platform, as you called it, which I don't call it a platform because in person, on the phone, email, and media are platforms. YouTube's not a platform. It's just a distribution tool, but that exists, and Mickey Mouse Club has 400 million views. Even though I promise you, Walt Disney was a smart dude, he didn't think of YouTube in any way, but he knew how to perpetuate his content in order to monetize it. Right? And so he perpetuates it, and you should have a strategy to capture, amplify, and perpetuate that content, and understand the platforms are in-person, email, phone, which is the big distinguisher. Everybody knows how to use email. The weakest communicators know how to use the email brave people, the text brave people. Those are all fun, but it takes cojones to pick up a phone or stand on a stage. I'll do both anytime, anywhere, and I will make money, help people, and have fun doing it. And I'll teach anybody that wants to learn how to do it. I'll teach them all how to do it and separate themselves. I can't teach you to be poor. I can try to toughen you up, but I'm much better at teaching you to use the phone and how to sell. Is that a good answer?
Yeah.
All right, cool.